Mr. Boyd, the head teacher, to the class where he wants to introduce her. She sees the name on the door is Mr. McGregor, and she said, because obviously this guy he was a teacher, and she just goes, oh no, is it the same Mr. McGregor? So shall I read the door? Okay. So they stood outside the door. Not Callum McGregor. The headmaster knocked enthusiastically on the door. That's right. Joined us last year from St Mary's in Portobello. Deputy head, quite a coup. Her voice came. Kate couldn't focus, could barely hear. Her mouth felt like it was filled with sand. The headmaster, still wittering, opened the door and made way for her to go in. But her feet wouldn't move. She stood rooted to the herringbone tiles of the junior school corridor floor. Sitting at his desk in front of a class full of excitable 11-year-olds was the man she'd fallen in love with 17 years ago. Her voice wouldn't work. Nothing would work. Callum looked at her, gently, surprised. Hello, Kate. Now what happens after that, Ruth? I don't give him too much saying that they do. They have another affair. Yeah, I mean, what they should do, really, is have a bit of an awkward moment. So go, hi, how are you? Great, bye, and go their separate ways. But they don't do that. And so there's all the kind of mess that is involved. It's a terrible mess. It's a terrible mess. And she's not a very likeable character. I mean, I make no bones about that. She's not a likeable character. They don't sympathise with her, understand her, and I think by the end of it, she does redeem herself.
Miss Jones was talking to Jane. A particular project research post posted over Easter weekend and went viral last week. It asked followers to describe herself as a male author, and lots of responses along the breast to the room. Breasts were the showstopper. Breasts make her life putting on. And I wondered if it was all prompted by an unnamed male author saying on Twitter that he was living proof that male authors could write authentic characters. Clearly, the women who took part in the challenge disagreed. But can a man write an authentic woman? Well, Mike Gale is a novelist. Rhiannon Lucy Coslet is about to publish her first novel and writes for The Guardian. Why did she take this on in an article called All Cleavage and Plunkiness?
I think many female readers of fiction have come across descriptions of female characters that have either made them laugh out loud or think, has this author ever met a woman before? So that's what prompted it, really. I think the reason that this argument resonated so much is because a lot of women readers have felt this.
Mike, how guilty are you of obsessing about breasts rather than brains?
Not guilty at all. I think when you're writing from a male point of view, my main characters do tend to be men, but I have written from a female point of view as well. I think, you do talk about your characters in the way that they see the women, in the way they see the female characters. I think, I want to talk about their attractiveness because that's how people talk.
Alright, so what do you make of the way women create male characters? I've offered a challenge to you to describe yourself as a woman would write.
Okay, here goes. Mike Gale wasn't a highly desirable bad boy with tattoos and a washboard stomach. He was a middle-aged, slightly overweight guy who always listened to your problems, held your hair out of your way when you were being sick, and was underneath your nose the whole time.
Oh, that's rather flattering,
I suppose it is. I mean, I think
the idea of him being caring and holding your hair back whilst you were being sick.
But it is a cliche, and I think he makes a good point that, it's not just a crime committed by male authors. Female authors do this too, but I think to a lesser extent. And I also think what the problem is that you don't necessarily have to create convincing female characters as a male author in order to be